I got a theory I want to test. The theory is that shutter speed makes, so put it like this. Normally I keep my videos when I fly at 1/20th shutter speed because I have it at 60 frames a second. Now, when I go back to look at the video, it's not as sharp. It's not as tack sharp as I want it to look, right? You can try to add sharpness in post and all of these things, but it seems to not work the same as like a regular camera. So I'm gonna do this thing today where I put the shutter speed higher so it's sharper. Then I'm gonna take my camera and also put it on auto mode. I wanna see, I wanna test these camera theories out, and we'll talk about them while we're out there, but at the same time, we're just flying around to have some fun. I'm headed up here to Willoughby Park, very nice park here to fly around in. It's one of the fly spots on the DJI app, if you know, DJI Fly app, if you know anything about that. And then we're gonna test some of these camera theories out and see if what we can do to get better footage out of these cameras that we use. Also, I've placed onto my camera the DJI wide angle lens. I just purchased it, and we'll see how it looks. I heard it's supposed to obviously widen that field of view, but also help you look better. And we know I could probably use some help with that. So let's get to it, man. All right, so we're about to do a big test here. I want you to take a look at my screen first. Let me show it to you. Screen record, I want to screen record. All right, so take a look at my screen now. As you see there, all of that footage, all of those zebras there are blown out, blown out, blown out, blown out, blown out, blown out. Why? Because, okay, so when you go here into this menu, the first thing you see is this fact right here. The fact that you see is that I have 100 ISO, 120 on the shutter. Now, if you know anything about cameras, then you know for a fact, the easiest way to take care of this is to what? As I go up in the shutter speed, as you see, the zebras will come down, okay? I could keep going up, I could crank it, crank it, crank it, crank it, crank it, crank it, crank it. I go to 8,000, 16,000. So I could crank that bad boy until the zebras technically go away. The only problem with that is when I get ready to move around or do anything on a normal camera, I will look jittery as far as unrealistic, right? So we always talk about things being cinematic or being their best look. Reality is, the more that you make it where these stills are taking 1/8,000th of a second shutter, like quick, or speed, is the less light that you let into the sensor. But at the same time, the more fast stills that you have within a video. So you won't look realistic to the eye, because to the eye, neither one of us move super fast. Now, my biggest thing about this is when they talk about it, is okay, everybody doesn't have the same vision. Everybody vision ain't 20/20. So it just makes me wonder how much cranking the shutter speed actually takes away from video and how much it really, really does harm video. So we're gonna test it out. Because right now I only have a wide angle lens on. I don't have any ND filter or anything like that. Now I understand that using ND filters is the best route to go, but I also know that cranking the shutter speed also can help. But in video, that rule seems to only apply never, cranking the shutter speed. It seems to never apply. So we're gonna check it out here. We're gonna test all the theories while we're out here on the DJI 3S, Air 3S, and we're gonna test it out on the DJI Avata 2. Okay, so you see here, I have this bad boy now on auto. When you look at the screen, you'll see that I clearly have it at 100 ISO. It's at 100 ISO by itself, and it's 1/1600th of a shutter speed. And all those beautiful zebras are going. Now I'm gonna take it off, and I'm gonna ActiveTrack myself all the way on auto, and we're gonna watch this do what it does. All right, let's get some ActiveTrack going. Outline yourself. It recognizes me as a human being. We're gonna press auto here because I just wanted to do its own thing, and y'all come with me. So as we walk on and we get down to our final destination, we're gonna look back at the video, and I can't really tell right now. I got the controller around my neck here, but I can't really tell right now, like, if the footage looks natural, stuttery, anything. You guys take a look at it and tell me what you see, if you see anything unnatural to the human eye. I have a theory. I do have a theory. I believe that shutter speed was based upon older cameras, based upon older footage. I don't necessarily know. We lost something back here. But I don't know if it applies fully to digital cams, right? And this is why I'm testing this out, because I hear a lot of people saying what to do or repeating what to do, but never a lot of why. Never a lot of realistic situations. And I have nothing against anybody else here on YouTube or any other platform that does what they do, but I like to see practicality and see these things like put in motion versus just telling me, don't do that. You tell me, Milton C. Spence III, don't do something, the first question I'm gonna have, why? Why? So let's put the why into theory. Come up here with me. So we've reached our spot here. And as I was coming over here, did you guys notice anything about the footage that was jittery, unrealistic, anything like that? You know, what do you see? I haven't watched it back. Once I get home, obviously, and edit this video, then I'll be able to see. But realistically, did you see anything that showed you anything that wasn't realistic? Okay. Okay, so we're putting this bad boy to the test. We're gonna take it off of auto here. We're gonna fly out, and we're gonna actually, let's take you off of auto there, stop. Let's take ActiveTrack off. We're gonna take you and fly you out. Because one thing we wanna see is, do we notice anything different about the video? Now, if you look down at the screen, you'll see that it's right now 1/6400th of a second. Let me slow down to really check it out. 1/6400th of a second. Now, it's getting that shutter speed up there because it believes that this is the best way to have your footage be at the EV spot of 0, 0. When you look at your EV spot down there, that's your, if you will, that is your exposure value. That's what EV means on cameras, exposure value. So you can tell I'm moving a bit. Let's put it in cine mode. Let's see what we got here. Do you notice anything? 1/2500th of a second. As you know, we'll go and we'll test this out and see. I have to say, man, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I don't notice anything different that makes it hyper unrealistic. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it back to me next. And we're gonna see if it captures me doing anything different or looking weird in any way. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Sorry, wrong way. Come here. As the lady's behind me. But we're gonna move it closer here. I got a wide angle lens. Now, I don't know. Let's take a walk. Hold on, let's put on active here so it'll follow me around. Yeah, let's see. Do I look unnatural in my walk? Woo! If I don't look unnatural in my walk, then I don't know. Now, another test. Let's take this bad boy and do the rules. Let's follow the rules. Let's keep it at a one double R. We're gonna go the 180-degree rule, which puts us 3 stops overexposed. Okay, we're gonna fly out and see what we're looking like. Now it's gonna be 3 stops overexposed, so I won't be able to see much. If I take off the zebras though, that'll help. Yeah, so let's take off zebras here for myself. Overexposure warning, there we go. So on my screen and on your screen, it should look stark white. Okay, it should look stark white. I think this is enough for the test. That's enough for that. We're gonna get this back. We're gonna get it back. So on your screen, it should be stark white. I'm gonna bring it back over here and we're gonna change out and put on a filter and see what it looks like then. Okay, so now, as we look at the screen, one thing you can already notice is that the shutter speed itself, I'm gonna put it up in the air so we can really see. As you can see, the shutter speed on the auto aspect, move it out, the shutter speed on the auto aspect is already down. If you guys remember, when I first took off here, it was 1/6400th of a second. So I could say that it's gonna produce that same look as before, obviously with a lower shutter, but let's ride around on auto and see what it looks like. Let me slow it. I'm in cine mode, I think. So I'm in cine. We're gonna ride around and we're gonna look and see if there's any difference in the footage that we can tell. Let's bank back around. And I think a good test also would be to sit still. Let's sit still and see what the water looks like at 1/640th of a second with an ISO of 1610. So this is the biggest thing when it comes down to shutter, right? Cranking it could mean also that you have to raise your ISO. Putting on a ND filter would mean that there's less light making it onto your sensor. So your ISO has to compensate in order to get your EV back to 0, right? It has to. But let's just say, as we're sitting over the water, we turn it, follow the 180-degree rule, go here, look at the screen. As you see, if I go down to that 180-degree rule, our ISO goes to 290. Let's go back to auto. Auto, 1/640th of a second, following the 180-degree rule. Now we're at 290. So that in itself, by sitting here at the water, can you see a difference? Can you tell a difference? I'll be able to tell more of a difference once I get it on a computer. As I look at it now, I'm just obviously using the screen in order to be able to see where I'm at and see what's going on. I'm still within the line of sight, but it just doesn't, I don't see anything different. Now, if you pay attention, as we're flying this way, the ISO is staying at the very same, well, it just changed to 300, but it's staying the same. Now, if we turn back towards the sun, the ISO will be able to come down. See, ISO go down to 130, but the shutter stays the same. So I guess at this moving speed, it can provide us a natural looking thing, right? Provide us a more natural look. But let's go back to the auto. Auto everything. Look at the screen there. Auto everything, letting the camera handle its own. With the ND filter on, letting the camera handle its own. And just to let you guys know, we'll talk about in a little bit, is the color grading aspect. Let's see. Now let's go back to Pro mode. If you saw a switch in the camera, I just went back to Pro mode. Not trying to say there is no difference. I'm just trying to say I don't really see a difference, except for the factor of the metrics. And I think that's what people try to escape. Because the more noise you present to your footage, the more you have to compensate, you know, for what you're losing. All right, let's put you on auto ActiveTrack, and we have it on 1/20th right now, and we're just gonna walk around. All right, just gonna walk back and forth. Right now we're at 1/20th. Right, okay. I don't want it to follow me. Sorry, y'all. Spotlight. We'll put on spotlight. I want it to follow me, but not follow me like that. So we'll just back and forth, walk back and forth. All right, now we'll go on everything auto mode. Does our footage look jittery? Does it not look natural? This could be a waste of a test. Not saying it is, but it just makes me wonder, is the theory correct when you get into today's cameras? It makes you wonder. And are we actually talking about eyesight of everyone, or are we just discussing certain people's eyesight? Because not everyone has the same eyesight. So it just makes me wonder, man. All right, it makes me wonder. Okay. Okay. Now, let's try it out on the Avata 2. Now that's probably gonna be tougher to see. You know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to do it on the Avata 2. It moves way too fast to be able to tell. I could hover above things, but that's for speed, that's for fun. I don't know if people really too much care about the quality on that aspect, but I know for a fact when it comes to this, because some people want to shoot things, and I moved it over to water because it has a lot of effects to it. Does it have, even the water have a natural blur? Does these things actually matter? I'm talking it out with you guys and putting it as a theory, and maybe it just calls for more studying, but I don't mind putting these videos out like this, only because I can appreciate anybody who's willing to put something out there to make themselves look stupid. Because if you really, really know anything about creativity or know anything about anything or putting things to the test, you understand that you are what you are. If you feel like or insecure about something, that's because you're trying to compare yourself to something that you're not, and you're trying to compare yourself to something that you think is good or great. The greatest that you are is the greatest that you are, right? But technically speaking, who are we really? We're only somebody to the people who love us and somebody to the people who, you know, care about us. That's the somebody we are. I don't mind putting out these videos because I know it may get ridiculed. It may, oh, this is crazy, you don't know what you're doing, and blah, blah, blah. That's the point, is putting the video out, because we all want to know. We all want to test these theories out, but people are afraid to be wrong. My advice, don't be afraid to be wrong. Test your theories out. Cool? Y'all get out of here, man.